Activision Blizzard buys the company that makes Candy Crush for lots of billions. The Plex app comes to the Apple TV. Pandora Is Getting Serial Podcast Season 2 and more from TechCrunch Beijing. It's Tuesday, November 3rd, and this is Crunch Report. Well, hello everyone. Looks like I've got a little peanut gallery today, so let's get right into it. Gaming company Activision Blizzard is acquiring King.com, which makes the game Candy Crush, which you love and you know it. It's okay though, you're not alone. King says it had 474 million monthly active users in the third quarter of this year. The company's been around since 2003 and went public last year. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick had this to say, quote, "The combined revenues and profits solidify our position as the largest, most profitable standalone company in interactive entertainment. With a combined global network of more than 500 million monthly active users, our potential to reach audiences around the world on the device of their choosing enables us to deliver great games to even bigger audiences than ever before." Blah. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's Candy Crush. Congrats to all of you rich people. Yesterday on stage here at TechCrunch Beijing, I asked Alphabet's executive chairman, Eric Schmidt, what the truth was to the rumors that Chrome OS could be folded into Android. And he basically said, nah, not true. There's room for both. Not going to happen. Google's PR machine has since published a pretty strong denial on a variety of its company blogs, stating, quote, "While we've been working on ways to bring together the best of both operating systems, there's no plan to phase out Chrome OS." Now, you can see where the rumors felt real, though. Google's been adding Android features to Chrome OS over time. You can already use some Android apps on the Chromebook. But all of that said, with 30,000 Chromebooks activated in U.S. classrooms every school day, and companies like Netflix and Starbucks buying Chromebooks for their employees, it's not like the OS needs to prove itself. Not really, anyway. And as TechCrunch's Frederic Lardnois points out, at the end of the day, Google would rather monetize the web than Android apps anyway. Moving on now to Plex, which is my favorite service for streaming high quality and always totally 100% legal content from a server on a PC to a variety of gadgets. It has a new app just for the new Apple TV. Isn't that nice of them? It's actually huge for people like me who currently get their content streamed to our phones, our iPhones, and then AirPlay that content to our Apple TVs, which works if you don't want to do anything else on your phone that might have autoplay videos that interfere with AirPlay, like, say, looking at Facebook. But I digress. We're out of the dark ages, people. As long as you have a new Apple TV, of course, you can download the Plex app for free. Speaking of apps, the Apple TV App Store now has over 1,000 apps. Let the games begin. Literally, a lot of Apple TV apps are games. You know what else I talked to Alphabet Executive Chairman Eric Schmidt about on stage yesterday? I'm kind of proud of that. Self-driving cars. And conveniently, Google just shared its monthly self-driving car report. And yay, there were no accidents. Good for you, Google cars. Computers are still good drivers. I'd like to hear that. Interestingly, though, this is very interesting. Google said that Halloween, yes, the holiday of Halloween, helped train its self-driving software. Here's how. A bunch of employees' kids, Google employees' kids, were running around the Google campus trick-or-treating in costumes for Halloween. Google asked a bunch of them to hang out around some of the parked self-driving cars so that the car's sensors could get used to recognizing children in various shapes and sizes to account for all of their crazy costumes, so that the cars could learn their patterns and behavior. Google says this is important because it already teaches its cars to drive more carefully around children because kids' movements can be more unpredictable, darting out between cars, that sort of thing. And this way, even if their appearance is unpredictable, the cars can still register that, yes, they're kids. It's fascinating. Streaming music service Pandora is getting into the podcast game, specifically the most popular podcast in the history of podcasts, and that would be Serial. Did you listen to season 1? It was wonderful, a delight. Pandora founder Tim Westergren has announced that the service will be the exclusive streaming partner for the second season of Serial. That was the weekly podcast that focused on a real murder that took place back in 1999 and the possibility that the wrong person had been convicted. It also put the concept of podcasting in general on the map for a lot of folks. Even though podcasts have been around for about a decade, I should know. According to the makers of cereal, though, only 70% of Americans currently listen to podcasts. There's room to grow there. Meanwhile, as of last year, Pandora had 250 million registered users and 81.5 million monthly active users. So the opportunity for the audience to grow seems very obvious. The premiere date for Serial Season 2 has not been announced yet, but the first season will become available on Pandora on November 24th. It won't be exclusive, though. That's important. Listeners can still subscribe to the second season for free on iTunes or another podcast app of their choice. The trend is real, though. Spotify added podcasts to its library back in May, and last week, Alphabet launched a dedicated home for podcasts on its Google Play music streaming service. And that is the report for today from Startup Alley here at TechCrunch Beijing. Crunch Report airs every weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on TechCrunch.com. You can also find us on iTunes and on YouTube as well. See y'all tomorrow.